trump card.
Commander, our position has been discovered. As of 2 hours ago, a large Confederate strike force arrived on Antigua Prime and established a base camp within our defensive perimeter. Arcturus Mengsk is calling a meeting.
Greetings. I know you're all concerned about the Confederate strike force. But first, we have a grave matter to discuss. It seems our data disks didn't hold weapon designs after all. Lieutenant Kerrigan will explain.
You all know that the Confederates run a program for psychically gifted humans, training them to be ghosts. Those running the program found that the Zerg are attuned to the psychic emanations of ghosts.
So the Zerg are here for you, darling? This keeps getting better and better.
Shut up. There's been a lot of secret Confederate research surrounding ghosts and the Zerg. What we stole was a small but critical piece of the puzzle. Designs for a transplanar psionic waveform emitter. The emitters broadcast the neural imprint of a ghost, but at a much greater magnitude. These things reach across worlds.
The Confederacy used these psi emitters to lure the Zerg into isolated containment areas. Your colony, Mar-Sara Commander, was one such location.
What are you saying?
I'm saying the Zerg are a secret weapon developed by the Confederacy. I'm saying you were all subjects of a Confederate weapons test. Just as they destroyed Core Hall with nuclear weapons to establish dominance a generation ago, they would use the Zerg to put an end to their other rivals. Only this time there'd be no outrage. Who could suspect the aliens were their creation? No, they'd be lauded as heroes for coming in and destroying the Zerg. It's time the Confederacy paid for its crimes, and I know just the way. Lieutenant Kerrigan is going to plant an emitter at the Confederate base camp. Commander, you will provide her with an escort. When the Zerg arrive, they'll break the blockade for us and we'll make our escape. Now, get moving.
Ah, yeah, we get to use the Zerg against them.
I'm having doubts about this, Arcturus. I just don't think anyone deserves to have the Zerg unleashed on them.
I know you have personal feelings about this, but you can't let your past cloud your judgment. Carry out your orders, Lieutenant.
Yes, sir.
Like, this is one of the few instances where I listen to Kerrigan's commentaries, just like, shut up, you live in the StarCraft universe. It's like, oh, don't use the Zerg against people, it might hurt them. You think the Confederacy cares? No, they don't care.
I'm ready.
You think Nova would have a problem with this? No, she'd be like, alright, it's done, boom.
Base is under attack.
God, that's what, anyways. Yeah, so when you start the mission, you want to move the buildings that were right next to you. It's the game kind of testing you. Be like, okay, do you know what to do? You remember this lift off ability the Terrans have? Alright, use it. So you're able to salvage a starport and a science facility.
Base is under attack.
Starport where you'll mostly be making science vessels. You don't need to make more. The one you have will be fine, but yeah. That's, if you lose it somehow, you can make it. And here you want to let this this expansion, you want to let this siege tank do its work. I'm sending Kerrigan over because the supply depot is almost destroyed, and once it's destroyed, you want to take it out. Otherwise, it's just going to stick around, and every time you try and expand, it's going to siege up and start killing your stuff. So yeah, another one comes in, it's just like, hey, what's going on? I just send Kerrigan and be like, no, get out of here. Lock down the tank to make sure it doesn't escape, and yeah, clear that whole area. Clear the tank, and then these Marines with Kerrigan should only be 2 shots, so make sure they don't get away as well. 1, 2, 1, 2. There you go. Now you can safely expand over there. You lost some supply, but that's fine. You have tons of area to build new supply depots. So yeah, get your economy up. The SCV carrying the psi emitter, you don't need to worry about him. If he dies, it doesn't matter because the psi emitter is invulnerable, or at least I think it is. But point is, if he dies, another SCV can just pick it up. So this will be your, until he dies, this will be your building SCV. So here we're gonna reinforce this area with a bunker, like so. And why we're doing this is because we're gonna get attacked from both sides of the the entrance to this base. So from right there where we built the bunker, and from where the other bunker was in that we just put in the Marines. We're gonna build our machine shop, because unlike StarCraft 2, well actually they had it there too, but yeah, since this is original StarCraft, you're gonna want to research siege tank siege ability. Oh look, looks like this bunker came in handy. See, I told you. And yeah, you build the missile turret there for detection, you build one here, and you place the science vessel there just in case. You're not gonna need it yet until a wraith comes and attacks. You'll get a tip notifying you about it, like so, and it'll either come where the science vessel is placed or try to get around you. But because you have so many missile turrets already, it's not going anywhere. And this is the start of the raids. As soon as you attack them, they will cloak. And as I said in the previous video, it becomes a little annoying, so you might want to always have detection, which is why we're gonna build. Oh, wait a minute. Let's try it again. Which is why we're gonna build a ComSat station. This should, I find it's easier if you have that set to keybind number 1, so control 1. That way you can always double tap it to go back to your command center if you need to do some micro on your minerals, or if you want to use the scan ability, you just click it once or press the button once and then S to scan the area. Give you true vision, or just, you know, that you see what's coming up. Once you have your factories all built, you're gonna want to start pumping out your tanks and send them down there right away, right to this little choke point. Why? Because you want to eventually start pushing out. So yeah, here we already have 2 tanks doing work against these Marines and a Goliath that was up here. With 2 tanks, you're more than safe. With 3, you're even more safe. So yeah, we're gonna start expanding, just so that way we can pump out more tanks. And I was gonna use Marines for this mission, but I decided, you know what? Let's use some Goliaths. Mainly because you're gonna go up against a battlecruiser later on, and their missiles are pretty decent anti-air. As a matter of fact, it's more than decent. It's the best. I think it's the best anti-air in StarCraft original. In Brood War, I think Valkyries were the better one, but yeah. Actually, Goliaths were on par as well because of the upgrade they received, but we'll get to that when we get to it. So yeah, once your expansion is all set, you want to start mining from it, obviously, and push out a little by little. You don't want to go too far, because the raids are there's a couple of raids nearby, and since we don't have any anti-air at the moment, we don't want to lose some tanks to a random raid, right? So now that the Goliaths are up and running, we can start pushing out even more. Right now we only have 3 Goliaths, which is more than enough, but we're gonna want more because later on we're gonna deal with more raids and, as I said, battle cruisers. There's gonna be a point where we're gonna want to bunker down in one area as soon as we push far enough, and wait for all the reinforcements to just come in and die to us. And once we notice that we stop firing constantly, then that's when you move out again towards the objective. So yeah, as you can see, we move here, Raid starts attacking our tanks, but hey, we got Goliath Chan helping us out. And we got more Goliaths, and this is also the first mission where you get access to the level 3 upgrades. So if it really takes you that long, you'll eventually have 3 tanks, which can pretty much demolish anything. So yeah, the little strategy here is to do the leapfrog maneuver. You let some tanks stay sieged, and you let some other ones move up. With Goliath backup, of course. Otherwise, yeah, they're gonna get killed. You do a little defensive matrix here, which protects the tank. I don't remember exactly how it works. I know in StarCraft 2 it's just the shield that absorbs damage, but here I think it has the option of reducing damage completely, which is what that little animation is. it's like a chance of a, it's a trigger almost where it could happen, it could not happen. Either way, it's great. I think this is the best version of Defense Matrix. Although it's a little costly. It's 100 energy, but it lasts quite a while. So yeah, this is where we're gonna hunker down, start moving up little by little, and keep chipping away at the defenses of the Confederacy. Now you're noticing that the map, we're over here on the bottom right. We're kind of pushing out towards the top right, or top, no, we're in the bottom left, we're pushing out towards the top right, there we go. But you don't really need to push throughout the whole map. Like this area back here, this is exactly what you need to do. The top area where you started the mission and when you see all those buildings, you don't need to worry about any of that. This is the main meat and potatoes of the mission. So yeah, fast forward, here's the battlecruiser I talked about, and boom, let them have it, boys. Oh man, I love it when the plan comes together. Hey, you recognize that that quote, then good for you. And if you didn't, that's all right. We'll get there eventually. So yeah, as you can see, our objective is in proximity. We're almost there. We just siege up one final time here. I think we start pushing up with our Goliaths. They can start doing work now. They don't have to be on the defense as much. Yeah, this Wraith didn't stand a chance. And yeah, unsiege these siege tanks, move them up, and then you're good to go. See this factory still building, pumping out units. So let's make sure our Goliaths take care of that. You don't want to click, since it's still building, you don't want to click right on the factory itself. You want to A-click towards the factory, so that way any unit that pops out has to be attacked by the Goliaths. And yeah, with the area secured, we can send our SCV with the psi emitter into the target area. So yeah, this is exactly what you would be fighting. It's kind of pointless, random barracks, but yeah, let's just finish this.
Yes, sir? Psi emitter in place. Just promise me we'll never do anything like this again.
We will do whatever it takes to save humanity. Our responsibility is too great to do any less.
Yeah, this is where we start to see our turrets go a little mad with power, but at the same time he's kind of right. It's like, Kerrigan, shut up. You're a soldier. Just do what you're told. You're worse than Nova. She should have been here. Should have gotten her own game. Alright. Next up, big push.